Hey guys, take two on the Flex StackPack review. Now I'm gonna start off saying this isn't the StackPack that you just buy for like 300 bucks. I bought all three of these individually, okay? Which the StackPack comes with the bottom roller, the medium, and then a smaller. I actually bought the bottom roller, a medium, and another medium, just because the top one was a little bit too small for what I needed it for. But anyways, same design. I'm just throwing that out there. If you buy their pre-assembled StackPack, the top one is going to be smaller than this is. So let's get right into it. You can see there's little labels. You can pop these tabs up. You can probably see there's condensation in there. We've had a lot of rain lately, and all those labels are just paper. Now, they do get wet. They're still intact, but you can see there's condensation in all of them. Just something to note, the labels there are not waterproof. Speaking of waterproofing, I used to lay... So I used to lay this in the truck right there, just like this, and I'd just roll it back, and it's just how I started off doing it. But now, granted, they don't advertise it being waterproof this way, but I thought I would try it, and you definitely get water in. We've had quite a bit of rain lately, and sitting like this, I had a good amount of water in all of these boxes after sitting like this in the rain. They're not designed to sit like this in the rain, but I just wanted to try, and in fact, they do leak. I'll link in a little video showing you guys the amount of water I actually got in there, because it could definitely ruin whatever's in there. I mean, it was a rather significant amount of water. So, anyways, let me see if I can set this up. Give me one sec, guys. Okay, so now, after getting all of my tools all wet, that way, I decided to switch it up to where now I just put them in like this and roll them all the way back against the back of the bed there, and then strap it down to where it doesn't fall over. And again, we've had a lot of rain, and no water has gotten in any of them as long as it's set up vertically. So that is not an issue. Just want to clarify. Okay, so I guess we'll just get into their latching systems here, right? So I'll show you on the side. Actually, no, I'll wait on that for a sec. I want to go over likes, dislikes, kind of things that I've noticed with just these particular boxes. Just kind of see maybe if you guys are on the fence of getting this or another brand, things you may or may not like, or see if they work for you. So I don't have a trailer, so this is essentially my mobile toolbox and whatever I just throw in the bed, which means I have to load this up there and then pull it down every time, right? It is slightly annoying, although realistically it only takes like a minute to get it down and up. I have to disconnect. I keep these top two together, and then I leave this bottom one by itself, and I'll lift just the bottom one up there, and then I'll lift these two together up there. Then when they're up there, I stack them on top of each other, then roll them back and strap them down. These things are super heavy, and I'll show you guys kind of what I carry in there, things like that. But there's a significant amount of weight in here, and that plays into effect in a few different ways. So if you are pulling this thing Like say I'm walking downhill and I'm carrying this behind me, it will run you over if you're going downhill with it. So, I mean, you almost need to just walk behind it and let it lead the way. Same thing with going downstairs. You're not going to be able just to stop these things pulling it downhill. You need to just follow behind it. So, anyways, things that I've noticed. These do have bigger wheels than, say, the DeWalt system does. I've got a couple people I know that run the DeWalt equivalent of this. And the first thing they notice with the Flex is how much bigger the wheels are. I don't know inches compared to what theirs is, but these are bigger. With that being said, it looks like there's quite a bit of ground clearance, but by the time you get it out of rolling angle, you only have like an inch of clearance from this middle part. This middle part is meant to be like a assist to help you, kick it up into position. But as you can see, this thing is all tore up because it drags across everything because it only has like an inch of clearance from the ground. Realistically, I'm probably going to come in here and cut that thing out back a little bit, just because if you're pulling it and say there's this I don't know, a little stump or rock or something here in the middle, anything bigger than about 1.5 inches tall will get hung up here in the middle, and it'll just hit right there, as you can see on my boot. And you're just trying to pull the entire weight of this thing over whatever it is in the middle without the assistance of the wheels helping. That is very, very annoying. Rarely, it works fine just on concrete, but, if you're using these things on the job site, you always have stumps, rocks, roots, whatever, and that gets caught on everything. The tires, I'm playing around with the idea of somehow or another extending this out, to where the tire would sit out this way, which obviously makes it wider, which is a good thing and a bad thing. And putting bigger tires on here, that's something I really want to do, just because the clearance with these is so frustrating. Now with that, it might not fit through doors as well, depending on how wide you go. Most of the work I do is exterior. Just something to note that I'm playing around with. So let's I'll bring you over here and show you something here. These are loaded up right now, so it has the full weight. Now let's pretend this ledge is only like 4 inches here. But let's pretend that's a staircase, right? You're typically going to just go down like that and, take it step by step. And doing so, you can see this and this are all tore up. And that is from going up and down stairs. It's not a big deal as far as like damaging the box, really doesn't matter. But if you're going up and down someone's composite staircase or wood or whatever, your box is liable to scrape it all up. It doesn't really matter if it's concrete, it'll scuff up your box, but you're not going to hurt the concrete. But dragging this thing up and down composite or wood decking stairs will scratch up the stairs big time. Just something to think about that I've noticed. Okay, now pulling up, typically you would just go step by step, just kind of grunt it up, and that works fine, except for you're dragging it across these little skid plates here. So on to pulling it. And I'm not setting anything up, it may or may not do it this time, but if you happen to be pulling it, if you don't pull it totally squared up with the ledge you're dropping off of, like if you come down at it at an angle, say you go like this, there it is. So I stopped it before it completely fell, but that's only like a 4-inch drop, and you can see it wanted to tip over. You have to be completely square when going up and down any kind of step. Otherwise, these things will topple over with all the weight being so high. And I do have the heaviest items here, second heaviest, and lightest. So center of gravity is as low as it's gonna be. So, now that I got some of that out of the way, we'll talk about the latching system. These are super sturdy latches from what I've seen. All you do is pop that out and you can see these little tabs grab the grooves of the box. Now, and you just have that and they stay open. Now, I don't think I can demonstrate this with one hand, but it works fine. Say you grab the handle and lift it straight up, there's no issue disconnecting them. But say you're at like you're off center from it, right? And you need to grab from the side. A lot of the time, you know, it'll obviously lift up this side fine, but this side, oh, you can see right there, it latched back together. So it works great lifting it straight up. If you happen to grunt it sideways, one way or the other, you lift up one side and cause the other side to lock. So that's just something to think about, mildly annoying, but it is there. But anyway, the latches are super sturdy. I've had this thing riding in the back of the truck vertically and laid flat, and I've never had any of the boxes disconnect from each other. So, good on them, they're nice and sturdy. Let me pop these apart here. See, it lifts up just fine. We lift it straight up, no issue. Pop the second kit off here. There we go, let me pop these latches. I'll talk about these latches for a sec. One of these latches on one of these boxes broke, and I don't know which one it is, and I'm trying to figure out how to explain it. It's hard to show. So basically, you can see these little tabs are connected to the latch below. Sorry, let me get you guys in focus here. Come on, there it is. These little tabs are connected to kind of the latching system down here with the hinges and stuff there. Now, it did shear. I saw like the plastic was broken half, but it still had these tabs attached. So all I did is I took this and just literally shoved it back up to where these tabs went back in the hole. And it's been totally fine ever since, to the point of I don't even know which latch is broken. I mean, it was totally disconnected, like the latch was laying on the ground. But I couldn't tell you which latch it was that broke off, because it's been fine ever since. Now, really good latches. I am not gentle on latches. That box falling, I'll talk about that in a sec. That's annoying. But, I mean, I will stomp on these things and kneel on them to get these things and force them shut. And I've not broken a latch that way. The way that I broke the latch, I used to have a tonneau cover, and I would roll it in flat underneath the tonneau cover. I thought that I was going to clear, so I gave it a good hard shove to try and push it to the back of the bed. And one of the latches basically got caught like this, and that's what ripped it off. So that was totally my fault. It wasn't from opening and closing. I just had the full force of me shoving plus the weight of all these boxes get caught on one latch. But anyways, there's that. I do have this latch here, which comes out of that hole. That is literally a 3-second fix. I'm just popping it off, squeezing it together to fix that. That's not an issue. I just haven't done it yet. So with this, all their lids come with these different types of grids, so to speak, which, you know, houses their different bit kits and stuff. As you can see, this one is laying on the ground, and you clip it in there just like that. Pretty cool. Like, these can clip to each other. They can clip over here. Like, it's pretty modular system. But nearly every time I open this thing after moving it around, this case ends up down here. And I'm not sure if it's hitting this bin or what it is. All it takes is a press of this button here and it falls down, right? Likewise, all it takes is a button. I'm gonna catch it because I don't want everything dumping. But all it takes is a little press of that button and your bits end up everywhere. So they're super easy to open, which is good and bad. Depending on how you have your stuff secured in there. If you have a bunch of loose items, they will end up all over your toolbox every time you move it. Most of my stuff's in place in the bit kits. So I'm trying to latch this again. Come on. So most of my stuff's secured to where if it does open up, nothing really happens, but it's just kind of annoying, right? So I want to give you guys size comparison here, just kind of what you can expect to be able to fit in these things, right? These are the same size, exact same box. This one I have labeled tool belt, and it is with suspenders and thick belt. I got a few different pouches, bunch of different batteries, you know, I mean, the typical stuff, but you can fit quite a bit of stuff in here. And now this is a tight fit with what I have in here. So, you know, I'm like, it's sticking up quite a bit right here. So this one I end up having to generally do one of these knee things on it. You know, so I'm not easy on them by any means, but they hold up fine. This one, both of these come with a little divider deal. Kind of handy. You know, just miscellaneous stuff like that, change bits or whatever, blades. Got a little socket kit here, and just miscellaneous splitters and sanders, things like that in here. This is not 100% full, but it is very, very close because it looks like there's space there, but these bit kits take up a good amount of that space when you close it. That thing closed up. Now, over here, we have the, this is the rolling toolbox here. Shadow, come on. Have your same grid system back here. Now, I'm just going to show you guys this just so you can get a realistic expectation of how much you're going to be able to fit in this box, okay? There is a little bit of room left in here, like I could sneak in a couple batteries in here. Now, I've got this to fit as tight as it can fit, and that is through a lot of trial and error on how to pack this thing. You have to Tetris it together to get all of these tools in here that fit fine. I know the system now, so I don't really have an issue with it, but that was pretty irritating to begin with. By the way, gas struts are amazing. They're on these and the medium boxes. Some of the DeWalt's, at least the older models of the DeWalt's, don't have these, and you are constantly having this lid fall down on you. That is super irritating. Never have. I mean, I can tilt this thing as far forward as I want, and that lid will not come down. So, good on them. By the way, you do have a raised lip here, which interfaces with the seal. Totally watertight as long as they're vertical and not flat. So, in here, I have the 6.5 inch circular saw, impact driver, jigsaw, hammer drill, 5-inch angle grinder, the nozzle for the blower, the little drop side blower itself, multi-tool, sawzall, and 2 chargers. That's everything I can fit in here. Now the chargers, like if you take those out, I mean that's 1 or 2 tools worth of extra space there. So, you know, just something to think about. As you can see, these tools got some rust on them, and I've used these things out in the rain, but also from having these boxes get rain in them, you know, made some of these tools rusty. No issue at all. Just something to think about. They do rust up, but all tools will. Anyways, guys, that's all my thoughts on the system. I really do love it. It's a great system. It's durable. I just like pointing out things I like, things I don't like. I buy this stuff with my own money. And I'm going to share my own opinions regardless. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions or thoughts or whatever. And thanks for watching, guys.